Okay, so we joined from a month ago. We landed the plane of air onto this uh, basically an island. We discovered the way to move between the layers, which is not very accommodating to us non winged people. We then decided we were going to go visit the Duke and started making our way up there. We got to his building guard and got told that we needed to fill out some form, which was a triplicate type form. And in so doing so, we sent Mr. Flying and Meepo to retrieve that because the office to retrieve it was 2 or 3 levels down. Once they got down there, Meepo found out that we had been lied to and there is no forms. And I quote when I say, quote when I quote Meepo when I say I've got to get up there and punch somebody in the balls. So Meepo and Click make their way up here, and we start an argument with the guard because of being lied to. Um, my character starts getting a little upset, pops a couple of Eldritch Blasts in his hand, getting ready, and things start, and Click gets in the way, start trying to calm things down, and that's where we stopped.
That was pretty good. Um, they said that they were gonna lead you away. There was a crowd that had gathered up. You guys were starting to cause a commotion. Um, I'm all tangled up in cords.
Isn't that a song?
Sure. Uh, and you guys were being led inside somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. One of they were they did not draw their arrows, but they had got them at the ready. That's when somebody came up and said, "Well, everybody put their stuff down," and then started leading us away.
Right. Okay, so uh, the party is being led into the. Sorry, I'm trying to get something to put back where it needs to go. I'm gonna have to make a crosstown trip on my lunch break. Hooray!
I did that today. Turning router hardware.
Oh yeah, that's fucked. Sorry, a chip of the glass just fell off. I don't like the Samsung curved glass edge.
Oh, hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing I can do about that. I guess Eric couldn't hear me. Can you hear me now, Eric?
Eric.
Can I hear Eric? No.
Hmm.
He went from just being fine to
Not fine.
Hello.
What's up? Logan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Sorry, internet hiccups.
Yeah, okay. So you guys are being led inside the castle of the upper floor of the. You guys remember what this city is called?
Oh,
I remember the castle. We were urgent to go see the Duke.
Yep.
The name of it escapes me. Did you catch that, Ian? What's skimming? Ian.
Well, I
What's
sure don't
happening?
remember the name.
Yeah. Sorry, Louie.
Huh.
I could now.
No, sorry. I finally got a voicemail from my mom that was meant to come in to me at 7:42 a.m.
Jeez.
Yeah. Uh, okay. You guys are being led into the castle. The same gray stone that is dotted most of the city structure continues on to here. It seems most of things are carved out of solid rock, but you'll notice through every room they lead you through, there is an open. It's almost like an open partition on the top length of the wall where uh, when you would imagine going into someone's basement and they have those tiny windows that let the sunlight in, um, those are everywhere and they are wide open, and so you can feel the fresh air blowing in and out of these rooms. Um, it's there's you are led up and down stairs, and then when the people leading you, remember that you guys are walkies. They almost huff as like they have to double back and make you take stairs.
Well, at least they don't expect us to fly in here.
Where's this
Um,
world's equivalent of the ADA?
there is no America. No, definitely not in the plane of air. Um,
Its name is Boston, clearly.
hmm. So, after being led through this absolute maze work of rooms and stairs and all around, um, when you look up, you can see that there are parchments that are folded into little origami birds that seem to be floating on these winds that are passing through uh, these open windows and doors. In through one room, out the other, you'll see one that makes you think of an owl or a sparrow flying in one direction, making a sharp right to go out of a room, whereas and that was the direction of the owl, and the other direction was the sparrow would go straight through the room in a different direction. Um, as you're being led around, all these birds are starting to. You notice that more are flying in one direction that you are heading towards versus coming away from, and that is when you are stopped in front of this tall steel door that is at the end of a long hallway with arched columns that look out onto the wide expanse of the plane of air. Um, the captain of the guard, who was the one who came up and prevented you all from escalating the situation any further, says you wanted to talk to him, so go ahead, go in there and talk to him.
Did we just get locked up? I'm sorry. I'm catching up still.
So, what is the last thing you remember?
The ship.
Okay, so you guys landed on the ship. You fought off the gargoyles. You hooked a ride on the ship to this city.
Oh, I remember having to struggle to find our way up because other things can fly.
Okay, that's when you were in the city proper.
Okay.
Um, you guys wanted to see the Grand Duke because you thought maybe he could help you find Push.
Okay.
Um, Click was having a really hard time scrying Push. So, you guys were willing to try anything, after each day of him trying to scry Push.
Okay.
So you guys went to where his headquarters allegedly were, and that's when you got the whole run around from the guards that Ian was talking about.
Okay. I'm caught up now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, no, you are not in prison, but you have been escorted by the guards to see the Duke.
That's fine.
It's like the captain of the guard gestures again. Go on. Go in there.
Okay.
I walk on in.
All right. As you open the steel door, this door is not regular human size. It seems to be like nearly 2.5 times as tall. When you go to grab it, a small section opens up in the bottom for you as like a regular door. And when you step on in, you can see through countless openings on the wall, there seems to almost be a mixed flock of origami birds just floating around this room, kicking up papers and uh, scattering dust and stuff like that as they form this whirlwind swirling around this large humanoid figure, blue gray skin with a with a long white beard. You see this giant of a man. You'd say he's maybe 14 feet tall. Reminds you of all of uh, the air genasi you've been seeing in the city, but his musculature is far more developed than any of the people you've been seeing here, and his hair, whereas it doesn't have the colors of a storm cloud, uh, it just appears to be normal strands of hair and not like more cloud-like figure or shape of the genasi. Uh, you'll see origami birds land on his giant desk, and they'll uh, plop themselves down, then open themselves up, and he uses as he peers through this large pair of glasses to look at it before, with a furrowed brow, writing down something on the note. The paper will then fold itself back up before fluttering away to be immediately replaced by another bird.
Levi kind of explained, just out, out loud, is like, "Wow, are you a giant?"
It's rude to ask people that, Levi.
The humanoid figure looks up from his papers like with a quizzed look. How did you get in here?
Oh, we were led here.
Three more birds land on his desk, and he furiously tries to get back to it and write things. Read. It's like I do not have time for any of the captain's pranks. Please go away. He's like as he finishes his sentence, he gets those three birds to fly off, but then four appear. There's you see that furrowed crease in his brow grows even deeper.
Are any of these origami birds flying near us?
They're flying towards the ceiling. I mean, there's a couple of lower, I guess we'll call them portholes. that you could maybe, if you jumped for it, you could reach one.
But we'd have to jump. Nothing we could just like reach out. If one comes near me within like arm's reach, I want to try and grab it.
Even harder for me, probably.
Yes, it would be harder for Meepo. Uh, you want to try a sleight of hand check? You don't think it would be easy, or you try? Yeah, we'll
No,
do sleight of hand.
I'm just if it comes flying near me within arm's reach, I just want to try and grab one.
Okay. There is one. It's a tiny little hummingbird of a one that you think that as you clock it as it comes in, you think that you can maybe grasp it on your way through.
Okay,
Uh,
I want to try to if it comes within arm's reach, I'm just gonna try and snatch it out.
all right. Sleight of hand check.
Yeah, I missed it. Natural 1, 4, 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I accidentally bop Click or Meepo or somebody.
We'll say you bop click. And he's like, "Hey, stop it."
I'll step forward and say, we were just hoping you could help us. We're trying to find a dragon and a druid.
He doesn't look up from his papers like he's scribbling, and it seems like he's caught up very briefly. I don't have any concern with as he's still scratching at the desk. Here, let's see if we can get some nice sound.
Even though we think we tracked the dragon to this realm.
Well, there was a flicker on my screen.
Oh, sorry.
It's just my internet hiccuping.
Okay.
Oh, it seems to do this for a moment.
It's like, I've heard no reports of any dragons. All I can hear about are the smugglers and the gargoyles and the housing crisis. It's like, if you wish to waste my time, I will escort you out. I don't.
I don't know if this is working, y'all.
Try a little harder.
Is there anything we can assist you with to maybe ease the burden on your time?
His eyes flick up from his papers for a second, and he gets two birds behind. It's like, are you offering service? It's like, what could you do? It's like, I'm dealing with these invading gargoyles from the Earth realm. Why don't they just requisition that?
Didn't we just beat up some gargoyles?
Yes, when you landed on the ship.
Okay. I mean, we did just beat up some gargoyles.
But we almost lost somebody too.
Hush.
I saw the report. It was from the Star Strider. The Captain Legart told me.
We could.
It was like, it was very appreciated of you.
We're often hired for services such as this.
He looks up from his papers again for a second. And what would you charge?
Okay, all right. Out of character, y'all.
Well,
Katya is inclined to charge nothing, or outside of like.
What about for information?
There we go. Essentially, just
and bedding and food.
I was about to say travel expenses and info. Yeah.
He puts his pen down for a second, looking over his glasses. Information on what?
Trying to find. All right, am I like expressing this poorly?
What do you mean?
The whole dragon situation.
Oh, I mean, he make an insight check.
Oh, hell. Hush. Hush. Stop making noise. Okay. Nat 20 for 26.
Okay, he completely blew off what you said about the dragon because
He
uh,
doesn't care.
he doesn't care about dragons. There's not been dragons spotted anywhere, is from what you can tell. It's like he was dead serious about there's been no reports about a dragon. With a nat 20 and all your bonuses, you can definitely tell he is not worried about a dragon.
Okay. Is there anything weird happening? Something like you can't explain that you're struggling with?
He goes back to writing his birds. It's like we've had reports of fog clouds that won't dissipate. We assume that it's gargoyle and earth plane incursion related.
There's unknown earthquakes. Is that what I?
No,
I'm sorry.
what? No, it's okay. He said that there are fog banks that will not disperse, and
Oh,
they were working under the assumption that it is elemental earth incursion nonsense.
I look at Click and Levi. Where's there fog around the castle that disappeared?
Yeah, it was that one castle, and then we found that big hole in the earth.
That might be our kind of thing. That might be what we need to check out.
I mean, it sounds similar, but until we actually see it,
I've got nothing else to go on.
He leans back in his chair for a second, and like the origami birds are just kind of like circling his head right now. He gives you all a long stare. You want to go check out this fog bank for me?
Happily.
Sure.
I am very not in my element.
He swats away at some of the birds that have landed on his shoulder. He pulls out a parchment from his desk and he makes a quick some scratches on it. He folds it up and it's like a condor flying from him to you. You realize like how big this parchment actually was. A condor comes down and flies and like lands at your feet. It's roughly as tall as Meepo is. Sorry, an origami condor. My bad.
That's impressive.
Go and take that. Check out that fog bank for me. Come back with all your parts, and I'll answer what I can.
Okay, where is the fog bank?
The instructions are written on the condor. Go down to the shipyard, and they'll provide you with a small boat and means of getting there with direction.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now I must get back to my work. It's like he waves his hand over his head as like the whole flock of birds that had landed on him scatter and start to swirl again, and he brings out a fresh quill to start scribbling down answers or scribbling down notes and directions. You may leave now.
We walk out.
The captain of the guard looks a little bit surprised to see you guys walk out in one piece.
Oh, thank you. That was helpful.
The temptation to punch him in the codpiece.
I would like to say that I am out of my element being in the elemental plane of air.
Da-dum-dum.
Yep.
All of us are out of our element except for Click.
Yeah, Click's feeling very silent today.
Ha, ha, ha.
So, ah, the captain of the guard leads you out of the castle, back and forth those winding waves and rooms and such. The condor flies where it can, but once you get to like a narrow stairway that you had to take before, it just kind of hops down the stairs. Once you guys are brought outside of the gate, where you first talked with the guard, you are left alone on the busy street.
Well, I guess we should go to get that boat and then head. Wait, we should read the letter.
That would probably be useful.
I open the letter.
The condor hops away from you.
Oh. Hello, friend. Could we potentially find out the information you hold?
It cocks its head.
Hi. Can you share the information you have?
It turns its head the other way.
Does it speak common?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
You want me
It
to
not-
hit it with something?
It nods.
Oh. Can you tell me what information you hold?
It shakes its head.
May I read it?
It cocks its head.
I don't.
Hmm.
I am not a smart woman.
It cocks its ear to you, Katya.
Uh-huh.
Like it's waiting for something.
I look at my group. Did he say a specific thing I was supposed to do?
I just thought we were supposed to follow it.
Oh. Can you lead us?
It nods its head.
Oh. Lead the way, friend.
It picks up its wings and starts flapping, and it takes off over the crowd. It's starting to leave you guys in the dust.
I start running.
All right, we're gonna do a quick skill challenge.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, it's a chase.
Hop
Oh,
on,
really?
Meepo.
All right, so since it's just the three of us, what we're gonna do is there's a 4E mechanic called skill challenges. As you guys do this chase, I want you guys to think up things that you would do to successfully get yourself through a crowd, scale buildings, etc., whatever. Be as creative as you want. 6 successes or 3 failures is what we've got to deal with here. So we'll go left to right on my screen. Katya, the condor is taking off over the crowd, and it seems to be a busy market day with lots of people in the street. You have Meeple on your back. What do you do?
Ooh. I yell really loudly to clear the way and just put my head down and barrel forward.
Okay. So is that going to be an intimidation check or an athletics check? As you're trying to push yourself through, or are you trying to scare people to move?
I would prefer an athletics check.
All right, roll it for me.
Ooh, that was not great. 17.
17 is enough. Katya, you are a strong woman wearing heavy armor in a crowd of merchants. After the first few people fall down, the rest of them get out of your way with the rest of your party in tow. Levi, Katya is clearing a path, but you see the condor bank behind a building. What do you do?
Um, okay, let's see if I can do this. Because I don't know if you'll allow it. It's a slight changing of the words of it. Cast gust to on basically right in front of the condor to push it instead of away from us towards me.
So if I recall correctly, Gust doesn't have to be you as the center point, right? It can be anywhere.
At a point you can see within range is what it says.
Okay. Let's make a strength saving throw. Or be pushed 5 feet. It says away from you. Keep on.
Well, if it's a creature, it's 5 feet. If it's an object, it's 10 feet.
I would argue this is a construct. Okay, it's got to make a save. What's your spell save?
Needs a strength save of 17.
Can you roll the die for me? I got stats for a condor right here.
Three.
It fails. So, Levi, as it banks behind that building, you throw a gust of air right in front of it. So it's not that you were pushing it towards you; it's more like you were pushing it off course and away from the building, so that way you can keep it in your sight line. We'll do it that way.
Right.
So that's 2 passes. All right, Meepo. The condor being pushed by Levi's gust is now making a straight beeline down the street. What do you do? Katya is pushing her way through the crowd the best she can, but it seems like this condor is able to move quicker unimpeded through the air.
How far away is it?
It's got to be 30 feet right now.
Theoretically, could Katya throw me?
On her turn, yes. Now, just remember, one of the things about skill challenges, which I agree I did not tell you before we started this, if you use the same stat over and over again, the general skill check gets harder.
Interesting. 30 feet. So is this a pretty heavily decorated alleyway?
It's a pretty busy main street right now. That's why Katya is pushing her way through.
Is it heavily decorated with, say, banners and stuff?
Yeah, you can see some like hanging signs and stuff like that.
Try to Assassin's Creed this shit.
Okay. You do have wall climb, right?
I have mobile. I have. Well, what's that feature?
You're a thief rogue, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Trying to find it. Yeah, where it says it. Dash gauge. You can climb at full speed and jump dex mod feet further. I can climb at full speed.
Okay. All right. I want to see an acrobatics roll, please.
Okay. Acrobatics. Oh, damn, why didn't I take proficiency in that? $15.
15. Katia, you feel Meepo leap off your back as he grabs onto a sign and scrambles up the wall. You see him running along, building ledges and leaping from side to side. His foot slips on the last pole, though, and it looks like he's going to tumble into the crowd, but he's able to catch the very bottom of the banner uh, and swing himself forward into a more stable position. It looks it looks like he got lucky and almost messed up.
Gosh.
So now what do you do, Katya? Condor is pulling away from you down this street.
Oh gosh. Are there like any side? Can I follow him up? I don't know if this will go well, but
You wanna climb as well?
yeah.
Okay. So because you do not have the rooftop work or whatever it is that Meepo has, your check will be higher. What are you gonna use for that?
No, I'm rethinking this decision. Can I try intimidating people?
Yeah. What do you do to intimidate people?
I take it there's still just a lot of people in my way.
Some of them are getting out of your way for sure, but it's you're kind of realizing how big this crowd is. It'd be a lot easier if they just weren't there.
I'm going to yell, very large woman in very heavy armor coming through, don't want to hurt.
Say that again.
Very large woman in very heavy armor coming through, I don't want to hurt. Meanwhile, I've got like my shield in front of me.
Okay. Make an intimidation roll.
I'm apparently very good at intimidation, except when I roll a 3 for an 11.
Over the general noise of a crowd, it doesn't seem like your words break through and people don't get out of your way any faster. That is you guys' first failure.
Can I Misty Step?
You can Misty Step, yes.
Would that
Would that-
save it?
I want to be careful about using spells that don't have saves on them or using spells a lot.
That makes sense.
That's like I allowed Gust because it had a save.
That makes sense. I was just like trying to look. I don't want to hurt people.
Right.
I'll roll with it. I'll roll without it for right now.
Okay, so is it mine then?
Yes, Levi.
Okay.
You see that Katya is kind of getting swarmed in the crowd. She tries to get people to back off so that way she can have an easier time, but the crowd is not dispersing.
Can you define construct?
Magical construct. It's
Okay,
golem.
So it's not a person. Is it a creature?
I would say all spells that would affect a normal creature would affect it unless that spell specifically says does not benefit constructs.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to polymorph it into a worm or something minor that is going to slow it down.
Okay, so you said worm, so we're gonna go with worm.
Okay.
I believe that's a wisdom check. Can you
That
roll a
is a
d20 for
wisdom
me?
save. Yep.
Yep. Save, my bad.
You want me to roll that one too?
Yes, please.
$15.
Okay, and you need to roll a 17. Okay.
17.
The condor drops out of the air. You don't see where it lands.
But that will allow us to get closer, and then I can drop concentration and it'll pop back up. So now Meepo and Katya have a chance to get around it, so they can.
Right. Now, can you go ahead and roll a d4 for me to determine how long, as far as like turns goes, before something happens to it?
You want me to do that?
Well, I'll keep it close to the chest, actually.
Okay.
All right. Meepo, the condor has disappeared.
I'm gonna take the dog out real quick.
Okay.
Would I know it was turned into a worm?
You saw it.
I see the worm.
It fell amongst the crowd. You're not sure where it is exactly. You saw where it landed, but you don't know where exactly it is, unless you want to use your sharp eyes.
I will dive down to where it landed and search along the floor.
All right, investigation check.
Eight. I'm gonna be lucky. Just gonna re-roll it. It says rolling the dice. It's not loading the result.
Hmm.
It just says rolling the dice.
Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
That's weird. Why is it not rolling the dice? D20 plus 5. Oh, now it loaded. 19.
Nice. Okay. Meepo, luckily you are able to duck and weave amongst all the moving legs, and you are not trampled. And there you see on the ground the wriggly little paper worm. Katya, bring us home. You see Meepo not too far ahead of you in the crowd, holding up a tiny paper worm.
Do I have the carpet of flying?
One of you do.
It's in my inventory.
Who's got the bag of holding?
I normally had cat. You had it.
I do.
Okay, then yes, you would.
How easily could I pull it out, hop on the carpet, and fly over the crowd to Meepo?
Tell me what skill that is, and I'll allow it.
It wouldn't be good, but it feels like it would be some kind of dex. That wouldn't be good for me, but
Okay, if you want to try Dex, then go for it.
it feels like it would be a dex.
Okay.
I could do acrobatics. Or just a straight dex. I don't know if you care.
Hmm?
Does it matter if it's just,
If it'll help you go for acrobatics.
it won't help, but I'll try it. Oh, God, that's a 6.
So, Katya, you whip out the magic carpet, you furl it out, you jump on top of it, you try to go sailing over the cloud, but you had such a terrible start that you kind of start doing a barrel roll, and then you just kind of fall off the carpet and land with a clatter of steel and rug.
I miss forests.
Where's Levi?
Yep.
All right, Levi. 1 success, and we're good. 1 failure, and we fail. We've got 5 success and 2 failure.
Okay. And something with a check. Well, the only
What you see after the crash of Katya against the floor is like the crowd is almost panicking because, what's going on? People are falling from the sky, and not like they normally do.
Yeah.
There's almost like a mad push towards Meepo's position.
well the only thing I really have that would go into a situation like this.
Remember, you can use your skills too. All you got to do is be creative.
I tried.
Well, that's where I did polymorph and gust. So did it turn? Did it unpolymorph?
It is still. Oh wait, hold on. I rolled that 1, 2. It has not unpolymorphed yet.
Okay. Have I caught up to it?
Meepo leaping on banners and stuff managed to get ahead of the crowd. Katya tried to go straight through the crowd and then fly over them,
Right.
but that didn't work.
We gotta somehow convince the crowd to get back away, but I don't know how.
Okay. So the problem right now is the crowd is in the way.
I need him to back away from Meepo.
And something that isn't. Okay. Let's see if this will work. Let me double check it. Okay. All right. How far away is it between me and Meepo?
I'll just say 30 feet still.
30 feet. So I can get there in my turn running.
You're gonna have to get through the crowd, but yes.
Okay, well, and in that case, I can always Misty Step as well. Pop up right next to Meepo.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to use my minor illusion to amplify my voice. Um, yeah, amplify my voice
Uh,
and persuade people to jump back.
okay. All right. Roll for it.
Persuasion?
Yes.
Cool. My God.
I know we're rolling poorly.
A natural 1
No.
Wow.
for a total of 10.
Jesus.
Ah.
We lost the bird.
So, Levi, as you land and like I'm imagining you put your arms out like like a like a cop directing traffic, but as you do and shout, "Everybody stay back!" you accidentally knock the worm out of Meepo's hands, and it hits the ground and just a little deep and transforms into a condor again and takes off in a direction.
What do we do?
Okay, with
Well, I
the
had 2 good ones and then 1 bad.
I feel that.
yep, Katya had the opposite. It was 1 good one and 2 bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The condor, you see it take off and then dive through one of the lowering points in the city to get to a lower floor.
Well, I guess we need to go down where the ships are. Maybe we'll pick it up again.
Click says that sounds like a good idea.
Hmm.
Yay or nay to the shoot, what is it? The
I
skill
like
challenge.
ability.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just sucks when we fail. But I do like them.
Okay. Yep. The city goes on. Are you guys headed down to the shipyard, or do you want to do anything else first?
We'll probably head to the shipyard, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's expressed, because on the way up here, nobody expressed anything to really go looking around.
That's true. So you guys head down to the shipyard, and it takes you a good few hours. It's like late afternoon by the time you finally find this condor. There's a pointed chin man who is like gently running his fingers along the condor's neck and down its feathers, its paper feathers. It's like, oh, there you all are. It's like I thought you'd be here well over an hour ago.
We got lost.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been told to take you out to the fog bank. If you're all ready to go, then we'll ship off. My name's Cumulus.
Like the cloud?
Yes,
I like that.
thank you. What's your names?
I'm Katya.
It's nice.
Meepo.
Meepo.
Levi, Click. Um,
Maze has offered to stay back at the hotel because they're just an observer.
no, we need to drag Maze along.
Okay. I feel like that's a good spot for us to call it tonight.